Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about the one player that I've spent over $6,000 on over the last month and why. But first, this video is sponsored by Otis, a magical place where almost anyone can buy and sell shares of rare collectibles, including some pretty amazing sports cards, sneakers, and art. You simply download their app and sign up is free. Here's a quick look at the Otis app. As you can see, they've got sneakers, rare sneakers, graded comic books, graded video games, various art options, as well as sports cards. There's new assets launched in the app weekly for you to buy shares in. You can also buy shares of previously launched assets from other Otis members. And there is an offer right now to get your first share free when you first fund your account. Guys, you know that I am big on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. I have their action figures from 1988, the first editions, and their first appearance is in their 1984 comic book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. It is a scarce book. There are 28 on the census report in a 9.8 condition. Otis has a copy of this book. I don't see myself having tens of thousands of dollars to be able to buy a copy of that book. And so it's great to have the ability to buy shares of a very unique piece. If you are interested in seeing what Otis has to offer, please visit the link in my video description. Hello to all my sports card collector, investor, all my collectibles friends. We have made it to the weekend. It is Saturday. I grabbed a cup of coffee. I'm ready to talk to you about sports cards. I'm excited about this one. It's no secret I've been talking about over the last couple of weeks on my channel that I'm a little bit spooked at the PSA backlog. I'm looking for a little bit more safety kind of with my sports card investing. I'm just being a little bit more choosy. I've put a lot of kind of thought into where I've been going over the last few weeks, and I've been zeroed in on one particular player, and this has been months in the making. I've been paying attention to this one particular player, and he has emerged to me as really for my personal collection, my long-term investing plans, as the most safe place for me to be as far as putting my money into one particular player. And that player is Tom Brady. And for those that watch my channel, you know I'm a huge New Orleans Saints fan. So it pains me to say that I have been buying into Tom Brady cards with him just beating us in the playoffs and taking his Bucks to the Super Bowl for yet another Super Bowl victory. I do have viewership. There's one in particular, TB12 Collection, I believe is his username, but he's always talking to me about Tom Brady in the comments, so I think that he will appreciate this one. Oh, did anybody notice the Mike Tyson Punch-Out autographed picture? I just picked that up, added it to the back here. I thought that would be kind of a cool addition, something different. I was excited to get that one. They are on eBay. If you're looking for this in particular, it's not crazy rare. They're on eBay. This was about $100, maybe $120, but really cool piece if you like all the old Nintendo stuff, the retro NES stuff. I thought that was kind of a nice pickup. But anyway, back to it. I wanted in particular to see if Tom Brady was going to beat Mahomes, if the Bucks were going to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl before I kind of made this move. I wanted to pay very close attention to that. And the reason is because Patrick Mahomes is really the only guy right now that's even in kind of closing distance of being in the conversation. I know for some that's going to be really kind of funny. Yes, you've got Joe Montana with 4 Super Bowls. I'm talking about the current players that have a chance, that who is kind of the hottest young player that's got a shot to catch Tom Brady. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's got 1 ring. He could have had 3 rings, really, if things had kind of gone a little differently over the last few years. And Pat Mahomes is the most exciting young player that we have, especially at the QB position. You know, he is a guy, I believe that he's going to have multiple Super Bowl victories when it's all said and done. But you never know. There's a lot of parity in the NFL, obviously. Injury risks also are there, of course. But Pat Mahomes has got the brightest future if you're looking at young QBs. And once Brady won this last Super Bowl and kind of moved it up to 7 Super Bowl victories to Mahomes' 1, as opposed to 6 and 2, and then, maybe Mahomes can close the gap. I do think Mahomes is going to close the gap. over time. I do think that he will, but I just don't think that anyone is ever going to do what Tom Brady is doing right now. And I don't think that he's done. I don't think that my New Orleans Saints team got any better necessarily. And I think that the Bucs are set to repeat. I'm making the prediction now. I think the Bucs are going to be the first team to repeat since the 2003-2004 Patriots, Tom Brady's Patriots. They're loaded. They're stacked. As long as they stay healthy, they didn't really lose anybody, this Bucs team. And I think that Brady's just the way that he's playing. Now, look, Father Time's batting 1,000. He won't play forever. But I think that Brady might have one more ring in him, or at least one more Super Bowl run? Yeah, I do. I think that even if he's not elite Tom Brady, that he's got the team around him can do it. They're stacked, top to bottom. And it's 7 rings. There's another thing that's kind of interesting about this debate too. When you look at any other sport, you have a debatable. The GOAT is debatable. So if we're talking about basketball, you have a LeBron Jordan debate. You have other players that people throw in there as well, but really in basketball, it's LeBron and MJ. And then, of course, you've got Kobe that's in that conversation that's got 5 rings. You've got, Duncan's got 5 rings. I know no one's going to say Duncan's the GOAT, but my point is that you have debate around it. In baseball, you've got a variety of baseball players that could be the GOAT, so to speak. There's in hockey, I think you have Gretzky is kind of the undisputed GOAT. Maybe there's some Mario Lemieux people out there, but Gretzky is the GOAT. But Tom Brady is really kind of he's the undisputed football GOAT. Between baseball, basketball, and football, the big 3, out of those 3, you've got one undisputed GOAT. It's Tom Brady, and it doesn't look like it's going to change. When he is done, he's going to own all the passing records. He's going to own he's going to have all the Super Bowls. He has a pretty squeaky clean image. He has the TB12 brand. He also just started an NFT company called Autograph, which I think is really interesting as well. So I guess my point is that even when he's done playing football, I don't think that Tom Brady's going away as being a relevant business person. Maybe he's in broadcasting or kind of an analyst. I don't see him going that direction. I don't see him going into coaching either. But whatever he does post-NFL career, I'm a believer that it's going to be successful. So, just if we're looking at kind of the body of work, the brand of the player and the accomplishments, you tie it all together, Tom Brady is kind of it's all of the things that you want. It's all the things that I'm looking for when I'm looking for safety in sports card investing. This is about as safe as it gets for me, in my opinion. Of course, you guys buy whatever you want to buy. Actually, I would appreciate if you don't buy Tom Brady, because I will continue to buy Tom Brady. Now, let's not kid ourselves. Tom Brady cards are not inexpensive. They're already pricey. So I don't feel like I'm getting amazing deals. I'm not first to it on this one. But for me, these are long-term hold plays. These aren't flips. Of course, if a card, 3Xs, 4Xs, 5Xs, maybe I look at moving it. But I'm okay holding on to these for a very long period of time. That's really where I'm this particular part of my collection, my investments, this is kind of my long-term play, is going to be in Tom Brady and some of these Tom Brady stuff. So let's get into some of the recent pickups. I'm excited to share this with you guys. And let me know in the comments as well. Are these cards that you already own? Like I said, I'm a little bit late to the game. There's, these cards were, one of my buddies, Flipping Steve, another YouTuber, he has a PSA 10 of the first card I'm going to talk about, the Skybox Impact Tom Brady rookie card. I got this in a 9. He got a 10 for $300, I think a year or two ago. I got this 9 for $700, $750. So it shows you kind of where the price differences have happened over the last couple of years. So that is the first card. It's the Skybox PSA 9 Tom Brady rookie card. I'm really looking for, he's in his Michigan uni. So while this is a cool card, I like the Patriots ones. Maybe it's the draft picks cards in me, because the new draft picks cards just aren't really worth anything after a while. And I like the Patriots stuff. The one in particular that I'm going to show you in a second is my favorite Tom Brady rookie card, outside of the contenders autos and stuff that are going to be very, very pricey. But for kind of the base rookie cards that are affordable for me, the one that I really like the most is the Upper Deck rookie card. It's the blue one. It's the blue 2000 Upper Deck Tom Brady. It's number 254. And I picked up 3 of these so far. And I've got 2 8.5s. The subgrades on this one are nice. I mean, you've got 10 centering, 9 edges, and then you've got 8.5 for both corners and surface. So this is kind of an 8.5 plus for me, in my opinion. I mean, it's got some nice subgrades. I always pay very close attention to subgrades when I'm getting these. The other 8.5 that I got, it did have an 8 subgrade, unfortunately, for corners. But 10 centering, edges 9.5, surface is a 9, and then I've got, an 8 on the corners. A little bit of, the soft corners got me on this one, but I like the value with some of those 8.5s. And then I also picked up just a PSA 8 of this one, just to have so I had a PSA graded card as well. They were not inexpensive. These were, so the Upper Deck cards, the PSA 8 was $750. The BGS 8.5s, one was $625, the other one was $700. And those are not, I think I mentioned it a few weeks back, a couple weeks ago, I'm okay overpaying a little bit compared to current market value for the right player and the right card. For me, I'm overpaying. If you look at historical comps on this particular card, I'm not getting amazing deals if you're looking at past prices. But I'm okay with that because I'm really thinking about what's the card going to look like in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, etc. And I'm a believer in these particular cards. The other thing is, if you notice with football cards in particular, if you compare them to basketball cards, pop reports are not high on these. So they might have printed a lot of these in 2000, but the graded copies, it's not super rare, but they're not super common on the population reports. And I do think, especially with the blue borders, I think there's a lot of ways, these cards got dinged up. I don't know how many of these are really going to be in amazing condition. The population reports don't show that there are, 10,000 of these, in amazing condition. All right, we move into a refractor. This is where it gets kind of fun with these because you've got literally, 15 years you've got Topps Chrome, you've got Prism, you've got a lot of options here. This was a cool one. This is a 2014 Topps Chrome, and this is the Bubbles refractor, numbered out of 99. And this one was $500. It's numbered out of 99. It's number 16 out of 99. Really just a cool card, but you just don't see them that often. And where I'm looking at kind of these refractors, I'm thinking, so here's kind of where my mind is, where my head is with it. I'm a believer that people are not going to appreciate Tom Brady's greatness until we get down the line a little bit. I think 5 years, 10 years, it's kind of like when MJ was doing his thing and winning all of his championships. Of course, everyone thought it was amazing, but it took years and years kind of down the line where the cards kind of caught up, where it was like, oh man, okay, MJ insert cards, 90s insert cards are all the rage right now. It's now 2021, so it's taken time for these things to kind of catch up. And so that's why I'm spending money now kind of on these more rare inserts, if you will, refractors that I believe will carry value over time. And these are, again, I pay very close attention to subgrades. So for this one in particular, it's a BGS 9.5, but it's quad 9.5s except for there's a 10 on the edges. So there's 1 10 and the rest are 9.5s. I love that. I like the fact that there's not a 9 subgrade in there. Nothing wrong with the 9 subgrades, but I would pay a little bit more of a premium for a little bit better subgrades. All right, giving some love to SGC. An SGC 10 of the 2013 Prism Tom Brady. This was $120. This was kind of more of like, an SGC 10 is a good grade on the card. Grading costs are going up. It's a card that is not, it's not a uncommon card, but again, if you go back to 2012, 2013 football cards, they weren't mass produced. They weren't super popular, so there's not loads and loads of these out there. So I thought this was a good buy for $120, for a graded card. This is second year Prism. And I did the same too with PSA, second year Prism, PSA 10. This one was $200. So it shows you kind of the price difference. $120 for the SGC 10, $200 for the PSA 10. And then I did pick up a first year Prism and a 9.5. This one was $425. And again, a big reason why I picked it up, 10 on the centering and the other subs are 9.5. No 9 subgrades on this one. And this is an expensive card. If you kind of compare it across sports, 2012 LeBron is a pricey card. Tom Brady is a fraction. It's probably half the cost. I haven't checked it here over the last couple of weeks, but Tom Brady's 2012 Prism is about half the cost of LeBron. I like that. I kind of like that ratio. And again, cross different sports, different players, whole different deal. But in my mind, that's kind of what I look at when I'm looking at kind of GOAT, prospect. When I'm goating, when I'm out buying goats, so to speak, I take a look at kind of those comparisons a little bit just to kind of see where other pricing is. All right, this is one I was joking with the comeback card investor, Brad, 2013 Select in a PSA 10. There's only 35 of these on the Pop Report right now, but Brad by himself has about 30 of these sitting at PSA. So I was jokingly asking him, like, yeah, but Brad, how many of these are actually how many do you think can get a 10? And he said, maybe like, 7 or 8 of them, which tells me probably like one is probably going to get a 10 if he's lucky. So I feel pretty good about this one, but it's just the point of it's a very low pop card as it sits. This was $280. So I did pay a little bit of a premium, but it's first year Select. PSA, Gem Mint PSA 10 of the GOAT of football. So $280 again. As I look over time, I think that's going to be. I think price wise, I'll be okay there. Staying with the Select theme, Select inserts. This is a cool card. I like this card, and these are fairly scarce. These inserts, 2013 Select in general was just not. There's not a high print run on 2013 Select basketball or football. If you look across the Pop Reports for basketball and football, there's just not a lot. So Brady, I got this one for $275, the PSA 10, which I was really happy about. It's not numbered, but again, I just know that there's not a lot of these. And then I did pay a little bit of a premium on this one. This one was $475, but this one's a BGS 10, pristine 10. I was excited to get this one. So I did pay a premium, but it's all 10s except for the edges are a 9.5. On this card. So excited for the Tom Brady pickups. And again, it does kind of pain me with him being the QB of the Bucs, a franchise I am not a fan of as a New Orleans Saints fan. But it's just like with fantasy football. If you're trying to win the league, sometimes you have to put your feelings aside and you need to, buy what works for you, what you think is going to be the best, even if it's on a team that you don't like. And so Tom Brady is my guy. Guys, let me know what you think, and I'm going to continue buying Tom Brady. So are you already buying Tom Brady? Are you not interested in any of his stuff? Is it too expensive right now? Because hey, look, I hear you. These are not inexpensive cards. I'm not getting, compared to historical prices, these are not bargains. So let me know what you think about Tom Brady. And thank you very much for joining me for another video. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing weekend. Stay positive, stay confident, believe in yourself. More than anything, believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, other people will. And that's where the snowball effect happens and good things happen from there. Have an amazing weekend, guys. Take care.